Okay. Did a mic check with Angela. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Hey, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to After GMS. We are live here on the WFMY News 2 Facebook page. It is the first day of September.
It is.
I'm Megan Valeras with Sydney Moore, meteorologist Ed Matthews, meteorologist Christian Morgan, all feeling like fall.
Absolutely. I'm taking a look at the sky view here. Christian and Ed, it's a beautiful start to the morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning as you look out over Burlington. And I'll tell you, first day of September is also the first day of meteorological fall.
Oh,
that's a technicality here.
Wow.
But not the fall equinox.
Not the fall equinox. That's on September
Gotcha.
22nd. It's going to be here. But it kind of feels like fall this morning, doesn't it? Beautiful, very refreshing out the door this morning. And that's all thanks to that lower humidity that we have that's moved in behind that cold front. Take a look at the blue sky. Wow, it's hard to get that deep of a blue in the summer, but you lose the humidity and you start to see that nice Carolina blue sky start to come back. There's your dew points, upper 50s to near 60 this morning. Oh boy, that's nice. And temperatures this morning quite refreshing too. With lower humidity, drier air, it's easier for us to cool things off. Take a look at where we are now. 62 right now in Greensboro, 62 in Asheboro, 61 Lexington, 58 in High Point, even mid-50s along the North Carolina-Virginia border up to Martinsville and around Reedsville. All thanks to high pressure building in. It was up over Canada, so we get a much drier air mass, and it's really not all that much cooler. But the drier air makes it just feel so much better, makes it feel cooler to your skin when you step outside. That high will remain in control over the next few days, but heading into the weekend, it starts to move offshore. That will change our wind direction a bit and allow the humidity to start to build back in as we head into your Labor Day weekend. So this break in humidity is very brief, but the nicer weather will continue as we go into the weekend. So dew points do get back up into the upper 60s to near 70 by your Saturday and on into your Labor Day holiday. But for today, it's all sunshine all the time, mid 80s. So yes, still warm, but low humidity will really be your key to comfort. Of course, as we head into September, we're about 10 days historically away from the peak of hurricane season. And you can see that pretty much making sense right now as you look out over the Atlantic. 3 areas that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring here. First one, let me show you, is down just south and or just east of the Leeward Islands right now, in the Windward Islands. That has a good chance of development over the next few days. It will likely curve back out to sea and not be an issue for us, but it could be a tropical storm later this week. Now, meanwhile, brand new this morning, we have Tropical Depression 5 in the North Atlantic. It's really just a fish storm at this point. The only thing it'll likely do is possibly make for some increased rip currents along the coast this weekend. It will meander out there for a couple days, could become Tropical Storm Danielle later today, and then could actually eventually become a hurricane. If so, that would honestly just be a technicality. There's no need for us to be concerned about that one here in the Carolinas or really in the U.S. But we are heading into the peak of hurricane season. We're pretty much there. So while we've had a dry or a quiet month so far, or a quiet summer, I should say, so far, June, July, and August, things will likely be a little busier throughout the month of September, possibly even into October as well. Of course, we'll keep you updated on all the changes in the tropics. Meanwhile, back at home, low humidity for a couple days. The humidity creeps back in by the weekend. Temperatures will hover in the mid-80s. Low pop-up storm chance on Sunday with a few hit-or-miss storms for Labor Day Monday afternoon.
It is feeling like fall, at least in the mornings. I commented it was a little bit chilly leaving for work this morning. Ed kind of rolled his eyes at me.
I laughed. I thought it was funny.
Chilly by Megan standards here.
By my standards, yes. But there is time for more chill in the air. Not quite there yet, but pumpkin season is here. We've already been talking about pumpkin spice, and everyone's excited about those fall activities.
Yeah, and with the start of September, we are exactly 3 weeks away from the official start of fall. So we want to know, what's your favorite fall activity?
Is it enjoying a warm cup of coffee on the front porch, gathering around the fire for some s'mores and stories? How about peeping at the fall foliage? While we wait for your comments here, let's talk about it.
Here in North Carolina, we won't see peak color until October, but places like the Great Smoky Mountains reach peak color the soonest. By mid-October, places like Boone, Blowing Rock, Little Switzerland, and areas along the Blue Ridge Parkway heading toward Asheville will be in peak color. Very nice. So what do you guys, what's your favorite fall activity? I feel
Well,
like there's so much
I'll have to
choose
say,
from.
now I love watching the fall colors. I mean, we can see some really nice, brilliant colors. Hopefully that'll be the case later on this fall. But as a part of that, getting out and going hiking in the
nice.
mountains
Little
or,
exercise.
through a park or a trail or something like that. And of course, always when it gets a little cooler, I ride my bicycle more as well. So definitely outdoor activities when we start to really cool things off.
I'm gonna say football season. I love
Oh, I
watching
know
some
you,
football
girl.
during the fall. I consider myself a football baby. I was born into it, and so every time it gets our family together, and we just love football season.
Now
so.
who's your favorite team? Do you have one that stands
Who's
out?
your favorite college team, Sydney?
My
I mean,
favorite college team, well, I have to go with the Gamecocks because I have
Okay.
family
So
there.
that's the one you were born into, right?
Exactly. Well, no, I wasn't born into South Carolina, just football in general. My
Okay.
dad played in the NFL, so that's how it
Wow.
kind of started. And then now he's in South Carolina, so, but I do love the Gamecocks over there. And I think maybe my favorite NFL, but I probably would say the Falcons. But I do like the Carolina
you
Panthers
cannot
too.
say the
I love
Falcons
the
in this
Carolina
part of
Panthers.
the
I love the Carolina Panthers
I
as
was
well.
waiting for her to say Panthers.
You guys asked me what's my favorite.
Of any team you could have picked, you picked the Falcons.
I
know.
Like the Panthers' biggest rivalry in the NFC South.
I know, but I love the Panthers. I love the
Okay,
Panthers.
all right,
It's all right.
It's all right.
Megan, what's your favorite fall activity?
So I love pumpkin picking. I love fall, love Halloween, and honestly seeing the joy in my son's eyes when we go pick those pumpkins. We came home with like 6 pumpkins last year. They were not cheap either, but I thought, okay, the experience and seeing the magic of the season through him is really cool. So I'm sure we'll come home with several this year as well, now that
So
we have
fun.
another kid in the mix. And so I love picking pumpkins, but also seeing the fall foliage. I didn't know the extent of the fall foliage until I moved to North Carolina almost a decade ago. The Linco Viaduct, which you're familiar with, up near Blowing Rock, Boone area along the Blue Ridge Parkway. It's it's postcard material. I think it is on postcards. That's where we got our engagement photos taken several years ago. It is beautiful this time of year.
It's gorgeous. You can't beat it. It's crazy how much a difference that it makes from here to there. From the Piedmont up to there, where you raise your elevation by 3,000 or 4,000 feet. It's huge. It's crazy. App State football. I mean, come on. That's one of my favorite fall things to do. Which, by the way, they have a game this Saturday against the Carolina Tar Heels. Go Mountaineers. All right,
Good
so
game.
It's going to be a great
Yes.
game. But yeah, as you guys know, when it gets to be fall, I take a lot of trips back to Boone, back and forth to Boone, whether they're just day trips or weekend trips. Love doing that. But I love making s'mores in the fall. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
So I have a question about the fall colors before we
Yeah.
move on to some of our comments. I know we've done verifies before about how the summer weather can really dictate how vibrant the fall colors are, depending on how hot it is, depending on how wet or dry it is. What are you anticipating as fall or as colors this year? Is it going to be a good season?
Well, I'm not even sure I'm going to stick my neck out for that, but Christian, correct me if I'm wrong, it has a lot to do with the distribution of rainfall back through the spring and into summer. I think maybe more vibrant colors if you've not had a really, really dry spring and summer. Is that the case?
Yeah,
I got to get my books back out and read.
It's one of those things where it's kind of touch and feel, right? Because you don't want it to be too dry and you don't want it to be too wet.
Right.
So usually if you look at it, and really like Ed said, you want to go back and look at the spring. It's so much easier to see, even rainfall in spring than it is summer, because just like summer, we have these little pop-up storms here, here and there. But if you go all the way back to spring and say, okay, well, it was a pretty, we actually had a pretty good spring this year. We had some cool days and some warm days, so there was a good mix. We did have some rain this spring. So, without really diving into the numbers really deep and just generally thinking about it, about how we've gone over the last several months, I think we're pretty much set up for a pretty good leaf season again this year. Now, depending on if we do start to cool things down when we're supposed to. A couple of years ago, we had an October heat wave with several days in the 90s through October.
And
That did not bode well. The other thing is, even aside from that, if you get a tropical storm or a remnants of a tropical storm or tropical system, that tracks up from the Gulf, and its remnants head this way. If there's a lot of wind and a lot of rain, anything that's on the trees could possibly come down too. So things get fragile as you go into October.
Remember, that's what happened in 2018, I think, where we had all those hurricanes, Florence and Michael, and then all the leaves just fell off the trees, and there really wasn't a great fall as far as leaves were concerned. Okay, let's take a look at what you are saying. Again, we're asking, what are you most looking forward to this fall season? Scott said 2 days until kickoff at the Rock against Carolina. Cannot wait. We also heard from Preston, who just observed June, July, and August flew by. They sure did. Joanne loves sweater weather. Preston is ready for the trees to change color. Melita said football is her favorite fall activity. Dana has loved seeing the colors start to change in the mountains on Sunday already. Up there, probably because the morning.
The very tip tops of trees are kind of on the side of some trees. You can see a little bit of color change.
I see some birthdays too in September. I think I also saw some birthdays in October. I'm an October baby as well.
Me too.
How could are you not? You are an October baby. Something special about us October babies.
We'll get through September first, but
yeah, that's true. But you can't help it.
It's an exciting month. All right. Oh, Dana said it was this moment the Triad disowned Sydney for loving the Falcons.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up, Megan. I was hoping you would pass right past.
Give you a chance to redeem yourself.
No, well, I mean, I love the Panthers as well too. I really, really do.
We were doing our best to keep you around.
I know it's every moment. It's just a little peeling off there.
It's all in good fun, Sydney. We love you. Okay. All right. This was a fun first talker. There will be plenty more where that came from as we get closer to the official start of fall. Let's get to some morning headlines.
Well, today marked 1 year since the deadly shooting at Mount Tabor High School in Winston-Salem. Police say 16-year-old Maurice Evans Jr. shot and killed 15-year-old William Miller Jr. in the school. The school will hold a moment of silence during class today to remember William Miller Jr. They'll dedicate a tree and plaque in the Spartan Memory Garden to his memory. And later today, the State Department of Public Instruction plans to release student proficiency results. The data could highlight learning loss during the pandemic. Early numbers suggest it could take students years to catch up. The average student is several months behind in both math and reading. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools plans to discuss the state's findings today at noon.
Today at Triad High School will rename its gym floor after an NBA legend. Chris Paul graduated from West Forsyth High School. This is old video of him playing there in 2003. The school district wants to name the gym floor in his honor, and they expect the NBA superstar to be there for the ceremony. Paul took his basketball talents to Wake Forest University, then to the NBA, where he has played for 18 years. Today's ceremony starts at 2:30. More internet across North Carolina. Governor Roy Cooper spent yesterday in Mebane revealing a huge expansion for high-speed internet in our state. $200 million to connect more than 85,000 homes and 2,400 businesses. 70 counties in our state, including Guilford, Forsyth, and Alamance, will get government-funded access to the internet. The money comes from grants and the American Rescue Plan.
All righty, checking the 7-day forecast. More beautiful weather over the next few days. Low humidity, it's very comfortable. Looking at highs with plenty of sunshine into the mid-80s right on through the holiday weekend. Now, during the weekend, the humidity starts to build back in. It'll feel a little bit muggier as that moisture builds, especially into Sunday and Labor Day. We'll add a small shower chance on Sunday with a little better chance coming up on Labor Day and into Tuesday. But no reason to cancel weekend plans. Just keep in mind that Sunday and Monday, your outdoor activities may be briefly interrupted with a passing shower. And I think this is really the kind of weekend that we would expect this time of year. It's going to be nice, maybe a storm or two in the afternoon, but get out and play, make plans.
Make plans.
Yeah.
It's kind of the official, unofficial end to summer too for most folks.
Last weekend, a lot of pools are open across the city.
Yeah, I saw some folks at a pool nearby around here. I was like, look at them getting their last minute dip in the pool.
Soak it up. Soak it up. All right, thanks so much for joining us for After GMS. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. But before then, we hope you join us on TV at noon today.